Just give me, first of all, your reaction to the verdict of the court. How surprised were you?
Well, it took everyone by surprise, knowing the judicial system in this country, but we were extremely pleased with the decision, and we have to move on with the reform agenda for the clamor for reform, for democracy and justice in Malaysia.
Do you believe that the prosecuting authorities might appeal this? Is this the end of the court case or not?
Well, there is a possibility they would do that, but the decision by the decision by the judge is quite clear. Is a rejection of any basis looking at both at the facts and the law. So I think it's a very difficult case for them to pursue. Although now there are demands by some of the ruling party quarters demanding for a review or appeal.
Do you believe that this was totally politically motivated? I know that's what you said before. And why do you think they have repeatedly brought these sorts of charges against you?
It's politically expedient for them to do so. Because they are dealing with the rural, conservative Muslim constituency. But what we did, knowing that, what we did was to go around the country talking about judicial reform, talking about free media, and also giving them evidence to the country, destroying the prosecution case by bringing international experts to explain, and not wanting them to deflect the call for reform, calling for independent judiciary, economic reform, end to endemic corruption, and instead of just discussing the issue of sodomy.
This is obviously a very personally difficult matter, I would imagine. This is obviously affects your private life, and these charges have been going on for many years. How have you managed to cope with this?
Well, I'm fortunate because I have Aziza and the family is solid with me, and I've always trusted the wisdom of the masses. They cannot be fooled, and people think they can have a controlled media to try and confuse or disinform the public, and I think fortunately we're able to proceed with this. And it is important that here, today, for example, I've been interviewed by the entire international media, but not one word on the national television or radio or media network in Malaysia. This proves the point that the media is completely controlled. So there's no sense in talking about reform here by the government or any move towards a vibrant democratic practice.
But the Prime Minister's administration has said that this does prove that the government is separate from the court process. Yes, the decision today is quite, in many ways, a landmark. But then the judicial system is still there. It remains to be seen what next. If at all, they mean, and they actually mean that there is a readiness to undertake some reform measures, then my next question would be, why is it not 1 minute of airtime is given to our case or our statement? No interviews at all, and complete blackout of our remarks or our statement in the media. How much do you think you've been personally damaged in this whole case? Because I know you still want to go ahead and try and stand for elections.
No, I mean, the authoritarian leaders, through their draconian measures from Hitler to Stalin, this is a known method. So we need to explain to the people this is their game. But now I'm completely vindicated because the decision is not only a technical decision. I mean, the judge has rejected it purely based on facts and the law, and they have no basis to proceed in the first place. The charge has been trumped up from day one. The fact that I was asked to defend myself without any basis or evidence to support the case is already atrocious. It's condemned internationally, including by the Malaysian Bar Council and all known authorities in this country.
Okay, Mr. Anwar Ibrahim, many thanks indeed for joining us here on BBC World News. We do appreciate it. Thank you.
You're watching BBC World News, still to come.
We are at war!